What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Musty Yeti's Tactical HQ. Well, today's going to be the day I install the Noveske NSR key mod direct attachment rail system to my Noveske NSR rail. Now, I went ahead and purchased two of these things. I think they're roughly 12 bucks a piece, so $24, probably around 30 with shipping. The reason I purchased two of these things is because, lucky me and lucky for everyone else, one isn't enough to cover the entire rail where your hand's going to go. So I'm going to have enough to do that and a couple of extras. I've heard a couple of things about these panel sets. I've heard that they're impossible to get on, and I've heard people say that they just fall off when they're shooting. So I'm kind of hoping both are wrong. I'm hoping they're easy to go on and they stay on. So I am more than willing to bet that the people that had the problem of them falling off probably didn't install them all the way, but I could be wrong. Things happen, shit goes wrong, but it should be pretty easy. So in one pack, you get one long panel with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. You also get individual sections with 2 hand stops. Now I believe, yep, in the picture here you can see they have this part in the back. Now just so you guys know, the pieces with the little T cut out of them, those are the locking panel sets. So that's going to lock everything in front of it in place. So that's why the ones in the front and the back, it's locking everything in between in its spot. I was kind of actually thinking about flipping it around and doing this in the front. So if I'm grabbing it and I wrap my finger around this nub here, that, like this actually, I'd have somewhere to grab onto type thing. I don't know. I've kind of got to figure that out because I'm afraid that if I install these things, I'm not getting them off because I heard they're a pain in the ass to get off. So I've got to do some thinking. Probably should do that now before I install it. But pretty easy. We're just gonna, it's pretty idiot proof, like I said. Those T's go in the back where you need it to, and you slide it forward and it locks it in place. And I'm not gonna dare press it on and lock it in place yet. I will say, guys, that I'm really impressed with how much traction there is on these. When I saw these things online, I've seen them on YouTube videos, I thought they'd be super slick. If my hands got wet, they just wouldn't stick, but it's got a really good traction to it. I don't know how they pulled that off. It's got some like dimples to it, bumps, and it's also got that pattern there, so it's got some stuff, but it's got a really good texture. It almost feels like grip tape. So if you guys are worried about the texture on those things, it's great. Barehanded, it'll do a great job. With gloves, it'll be even better. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, really think about how I want to run these panel sets, and then we'll get to installing them. So give me a few minutes. Alright guys, so I did some thinking and I've decided I'm going to run these panel sets like this. Now my thought process there is, if I do like to have it pictured on the packaging with the flat one, this one in the front, if I ever go to wrap my finger around the edge of that hand stop, there's going to be nothing there for me to grab onto. This gives me a really good place to put my hand, get a good grip on it. So I can't see a downside to having it this way, but I can see a downside to having it this in the front. So this is actually take two because I tried to do this part on camera and it wasn't easy. So I think I'm going to have to take it off and hammer it in with my good old rubber mallet here. And then I can show you guys how to install the little pieces, because from what I hear, those are easy to do. So let me go ahead and just get that installed and then we'll show you the rest. Alright guys, this was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. This is actually the second piece out of the other panel. The first one got beat up quite a bit, so it's kind of good I got two anyway. But the problem was the locking mechanism. Obviously it's going to hit that metal, so it kept pulling the locking mechanism out of the key mod. So I just grabbed the second one and really pinned it down. I think I hit my thumb a couple of times, it kind of hurt, but I held it down, pinned it against the receiver this way, and then hit it that way, and it got to working. So hopefully the rest of these go on, Jesus, without too many problems. Else you don't drop them. Alright, so these shouldn't matter so much. Yeah, thank God, that would have been horrible. Okay, so as you can see, these ones are pretty easy. Just that locking mechanism, that's a pain. I don't know if you guys can notice that, but the locking part actually sticks up a little bit from the rail. That's kind of shitty. Alright, let's keep going here. Gotta make sure I don't use 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see where my hand is on this. Oof, this is a tough call. So let me, I can show you guys. So this is why I put that nub up there, so I can grab like this. So technically I think I could put the stop piece right there, but I've got to think about if I want my hand to be that tight right there, like that. So I'm going to come off camera and kind of play with this thing and see what I want to do. Alright guys, here's where me being anal comes into effect. So I think what's going to be the deciding factor for me is that one panel is that long, and I want these to pretty much match in length. So I'm going to put it right there instead of up there. Plus, the back of my palm passes a little bit, so I think if I put this hand stop there, it would really be tight on my hand, wouldn't give me any leeway. So let's see how difficult this piece is to install. Let me get said hammer from earlier. See if I can do this without hitting the camera. This is not easy. Oh, I almost already did. Let me. Yeah, these locking pieces suck. Yeah, not good. Not easy at all. Makes me miss the days of the XTM rail covers. Well, I think you guys can learn from my mistakes, and this is going to really piss me off. But I don't think you can put this piece at the end. I mean, I guess I could just put a locking part here and lock that into place that way. But this is kind of curved and it's a little extra plastic here on the end, so I think that has to go on the end. But I can't physically push this up any further to lock it in place. So if you guys really learn anything from this, do not put this in front and expect this to be in the back. So I'm going to have to take this off camera and get a screwdriver and try to ply that sucker off and see what I got to do to get this to work. So 2 seconds. Alright guys, so here's what's going on. So like I said before, I want that hand stop to be somewhere in here so I can wrap my thumb around it. Now this is absolutely ridiculous, but you can't do this, right? Because if you do, this piece, which I am beating the ever-living hell out of, this piece you can't put in back because when it's pressed forward, it protrudes past the normal line about that far, right? So right there, they're forcing you to put this hand stop up front, and they're forcing you to use this in back. Now it's like, okay, well, I'll do one better. I'll just scoot everything back a notch. But I don't want exposed rail here. I want to cover, because if that gets hot, I'm not going to burn myself. But, again, when you install this, it sticks past the normal line about that far. So what I've had to do, how ridiculous is this, I've had to dremel down a normal piece. So you can see the difference there in size. Now, I'm getting close. I wanted to show you this before I put it on, because once I get this thing on, I'm not taking it off, because this is a pain in the ass. This one isn't so bad, because you can get a good grip on it and hold it down. When you press it on, it's backwards when you press it on, but this piece is hard to get on. I cannot even imagine these things coming off. I like the rail, but I mean, this is ridiculous just to have a hand stop in front, because you can't do this because this piece sticks further than the line does, so you couldn't put a part in front of it. Or I'm wrong and I'm just an idiot, but I'm going to continue trying to get this thing to fit, and I'll come back when it's all done. Alright guys, so this project is officially done. What should have been a 10, maybe 15 minute project turned into a half an hour, 45 minutes with all the dremeling I had to do. So, on the sake of the record, I fucking hate these rail covers. Installing them is an absolute pain in the ass. This one actually wasn't too hard just because I got frustrated, just beat the hell out of it with a hammer. I wasn't babying it. This one was easy, same thing, just beat with a hammer. I think when it comes down to it, you just can't be a wuss about it. You just can't be afraid of hurting them, just beat the hell out of them, get them into place. But again, I think this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous that they force you to put this in the front, or force you to, well, you have to put this in the front, or not have a back here, because if you put this as a hand stop backer, it goes too far forward and you can't use a normal rail piece. So as you can see, I dremeled it. It's not the best job in the world, but it will get the job done. So you guys can see the difference in length, height, whatever, width, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, I had to shave off, quarter of an inch, maybe a hair under a quarter of an inch to get that to fit. So, I don't know, Noveske, I doubt you'll ever see this. But if you guys ever do, maybe give a... Alright guys, sorry about that. I ran out of space on my camcorder. So, like I was saying before, I doubt they'll ever see this, but no, the guys over at Noveske, if you ever do check this out, it would be really cool if you gave us a smaller rail section for the front, or figure out a way where we can do this sort of setup without having to do the modification I did. It just would be nice to have that option. So that's about it, guys. Hopefully there wasn't something to this that I missed that now makes me look like an idiot. If it did, oh well, shit happens. We all make mistakes. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment box below. As usual, guys, take care, stay safe, and we will see you next time.